the NFC North. Last year's historic regular season led to a disappointing postseason. It's only the fourth time one division had 3 teams with 11 or more wins. Now, unfortunately, those combined 40 wins by the Lions, Vikings, and Packers yielded exactly 0 playoff victories, with the Lions and Sam Darnold, and of course J-Lo turning into J-No. Now, some people are very optimistic about the Bears having them going all the way to the Super Bowl. Turns out they only won 5 games, and Caleb went like 3 months without throwing a touchdown. But Nick, your NFC North predictions.
Sorry, I'm a little
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
At number 4, with a what could be historic drop in win total.
Wow.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
And that's it's
Shocking.
What, KW?
Just shocking.
What, shocking?
I don't think you mean.
Yeah, you go from 14 wins, say, is what I say. Let's move on.
So fair. I understand your.
Kevin O'Connell's a genius.
So here is
Just throw it up. Just throw it up to Justin. Anybody can do it. It's like Jeremiah Smith, like Greg would say. Just throw it up. Who can't do it? Sam Darnold threw 4,300 yards. Move on. Next QB up. All of a sudden, 4th place.
I might have picked the Vikings to finish in 4th place, even if they had run it back with Sam Darnold. It is more about.
tough to do.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I was going to let you cook there, buddy. It's more about the overall quality, in my opinion, of the division. It's about that last year, while special, didn't necessarily feel sustainable. And I do personally, I support almost across the board trying to take a big swing on a young quarterback if you think you're capped.
Yes.
But I also think typically that involves growing pains and a bit of a step back, particularly a quarterback as young as JJ was, as inexperienced, if you will, coming out of college as far as lack of attempts, and then who missed all of last year. So I don't think it's necessarily the wrong move, but I think this year they take a step back. Here's where I think people will be surprised. Coming in 3rd and missing the postseason, the Green Bay Packers.
Oof.
So I
knew it was a J.
Greg is bothered by it.
What?
Listen, I like the receiver they got in Matthew Golden. I think they might finally have a number 1 receiver. I am not as big of a believer in the Packers defense as some of my friends in the analytics community, and this is where I'll tread lightly. Jordan Love is still in the we'll see part of the NFL hierarchy.
Probably.
To me. I think that very talented, but we'll see. And last year got thrown off by an early injury. This year he's already had thumb surgery. I know it's not throwing hand, but I still don't love the missing part of the preseason because you have surgery on your hand, even if it's not your throwing hand. And now, am I going to do it again? Am I going to just all of a sudden just be like, you know what, the Bears? Why
No way.
No, I don't think so.
In the playoffs,
Wow.
but not able to win the division, the Chicago Bears. So I think the Lions have graduated to a place of regular season respect. That division, even though, again, the Vikings tested them last year, that division is theirs until proven otherwise. I think that they have earned that. I do think, however, that Chicago was on Greg's list, that the 1-score losses. I think that there has been far too much of an overcorrection from Caleb to being, some people had him as a top 6 quarterback in the NFL coming into the league to, is he even better than Tyson Bagent? I don't know, man. That guy sure threw for a bunch of yards in D3, and his dad's a cool arm wrestler who leaks things to local media. And so I think Chicago is going to have a average defense, a very good offense, an improved offensive line, good weapons, and a quarterback who is going to get better as the year goes along. And that feels to me like 10 or 11 wins, which should compete for, but not be quite enough to win the division for a Lions team that has as much offensive firepower, not as quite as much as the Eagles or, I guess, on the really only the Eagles, hands down, have more offensive firepower than the Lions top to bottom. But good, not great offensive line anymore, I think, because of the interior issues. Goff will be solid. I think the Lions win the division again, Greg.
Can you please? Yeah, I was like, can you wrap this up? Let's stop. Because this is.
What?
You did this last year.
What did I do?
You did this last year with the Packers. Houston,
right.
the Packers. I don't. The Packers.
I was kind of right on both.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Kind of.
No, you weren't. The Packers were a really good team last year, even with Jordan Love being hurt. You want to know who they lost to? Let's take a look. This is who the Packers were last year, and a team that obviously, according to Nick, is not going to win enough games to make the postseason.
I care about winning.
Well, they lost 6 games. Who was those 6 games against? Oh, Philadelphia. They played twice.
All the great teams?
Yeah, all the great teams. Yeah. Teams who, look, at the bottom, all had 14-plus wins. That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. I mean, against the other teams that they played, you see what it is, 11-1.
Where's your tomato cans, Brou? When you need them.
This is a team that had a quarterback that had the injury early in the season and then played through that the remainder of the season. You go and get him another receiver who you feel like is going to be our top receiver. Their defense is good. I know you're skeptical on their defense. Their defense, they run the ball really well.
I like that.
What?
Can I be clear? I didn't say the Packers stink.
Yeah, you did.
No,
yes, you did.
The playoffs.
Hold on.
Not making the playoffs.
They were third in their division last year. I'm not saying they stink. I say it again, Kate.
11-6.
Yeah, correct. And I don't think they're going to go 11-6. But I'm not. Third place does not mean you're a bad team. You be 9-8.
Can I?
It'd be 9-8.
Can I?
You don't think 9-8? 9-8's not outrageous.
But you said Jordan Love,
No,
right?
I said I'm not ready to say that I know that Jordan Love's a known quantity to me.
But then we went like Caleb, 11, gonna cook.
Well, again,
I've seen Jordan Love have more success.
Yes, I have more of a intrinsic belief in Caleb than I do Jordan Love, and that's again not based on their NFL careers, obviously.
Clearly.
But I also think that this year, unlike last year, from a schematics and offensive game plan standpoint, that'll be a fair fight between the two teams. Last year did not feel like one. I don't think saying the Packers are going to go 9-8 is like a super hot take. I don't. Every team that made the playoffs last year doesn't make it the next year.
All right.
Drew?
Well,
it's heated. You better have the Packers in the playoffs. I'll just warn you.
The one Nick got right, and I think this is a good team, but somebody has to finish last in what is a monster division, and that will be the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sorry, Wilds. I know. Well, you should be happy. Now, Sam Darnold. Yeah, it just helps him. But look, I think J.J. McCarthy can have a nice career. But like Nick said, we didn't see him throw it a lot at Michigan. And for him to step in with a team that won 14 games last year, I just think there's a lot of pressure on him. And he's going to have some growing pains. So I got Minnesota. And look, I kind of hate to do it with Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores. But a couple years ago, they were 7-10 too. I mean, I know Kirk Cousins got hurt, but they were only 4-4 with Cousins. So it can happen. I think they're the worst team in a very tough division. At number 3, now before you put it up, I needed a worst to first. All right, and my worst to first is San Francisco, right, in the NFC West. But I still needed a few little things, surprises.
Yeah.
Teams are going to come out of nowhere. And so while I am not as high on them as Nick Wright, I do have Caleb and Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears making the playoffs as the third best team in the division.
How about that?
Caleb had some, as mediocre as he was last year, he had some moments.
Thank you.
And we saw him play some Detroit and some other teams tough. So I think with Ben Johnson, I think he's still going to have some growing pains, but I think they can be. I was torn between them and the Rams for that playoff spot, and I said, let me go with a team that kind of will come out of nowhere, so to speak. So at second, and this is a legit Super Bowl contender. Legit. I might even pick them to win the NFC. but I'm not picking them to win the division, and that is the Detroit Lions. Second. Now, and here's why. Like I said, still legit Super Bowl contender. And I know you got the 1-2 seed, all that, but I don't necessarily buy that you have to have a 1 or 2 seed to get to the Super Bowl. But their schedule is a monster. The division already is going to be tough. Then they got outside the division, Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, Washington, Philadelphia, and the Rams. I mean, that's tough. That's not even counting, or I can't even read this one. But there's another tough team on there too that's pretty good out of the division. So they got a tough schedule, and I think they'll win 11 games, 12 games. But like I said, I might even pick them to get to the Super Bowl, but not to win it. That means, of course, Wilds is Jay Yes. Jay Yes for J-Lo, Jordan Love. I'm with Greg. Like last year, I think the injuries bothered him throughout the season, and they still won 11 games. They didn't have a number 1 receiver. I think Matthew Golden is that. We'll see if he's that as a rookie. But I think he is a future, maybe present number 1 receiver. And that means Jaden Reed, all these other guys, those are good, that's a good group of number 2 receivers. Obviously, you got Josh Jacobs. The defense, as you said, the secondary, I think, is a bit of a question mark. But that defense was the 6th best scoring defense in the league last year. And they're young. I mean, they've been young for the last few years. Now I think those guys will start to kind of fill out, so to speak, and be what they are. And so, I got the Packers winning the division.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think those 3 teams, or 3 teams, I should say, definitely have a chance to make the playoffs from this division. But I'm going to talk about the Vikings. Wow.
So do you have that order? You got the Vikings as the worst team in the division?
He doesn't want to.
I can't do it. I can't place them as the worst team in the division. I got to see it from Caleb. I had them. I was overly hyped on them early last year. I was with you.
Yep.
And I got to see it. I have to see it. But with the Vikings, it's intriguing to me because I have a hard time believing that this is a team that won 14 games with Sam Darnold, who everybody was waiting on pumpkin to show up.
It came.
Everybody was waiting.
And they were.
It came in the last 2 games.
And it didn't. The regular season, it never happened. Wow. And to your point, Kevin O'Connell, he's a genius. He knows what he's doing. But just like the Cincinnati Bengals, when they went to a fight, they didn't have their defense show up. You want to know who showed up for them? Their defense.
That part's true.
So regardless of what the offense looked like, because J.J. McCarthy may or may not be blazing out of the gates, the defense is going to show up because this is what they do. Their defense, if we look at the numbers, points per game, fifth. Opponents rush yards, but you're not going to run on us. Third down, we're going to get off the field. Like, we're going to take the ball away. Here, JJ, get another chance.
Takeaways.
Do this again.
I get a little nervous about takeaways.
I can't. I understand it, but this is what they do almost every year.
Okay.
And then sacks, they're going to get after your quarterback. These are all things that you want to have happen when you have a young quarterback and you need him to get more possessions and more opportunities.
And a crazy scheme there. Ask Brock Purdy. They do.
Ridiculous scheme.
Crazy scheme.
Somebody got to finish last.
You saved us, bro. Because guess who texts the show very mad?
A robot?
Lil Wayne.
As he should.
Thank goodness.
With you.
Tell him I got his back.
He didn't
really text you, so he texts you.
He texts me. And he's in Kansas City right now and evidently shouted us in the show out from the stage in Kansas City. And now he's mad.
Right.
Sorry, Wayne. Brew's got you.
I got your back.
Coming up next, Howie Long joins the show while we eat some delicious sandwiches in the
This does look delicious. Woo!
It's crazy.
That.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.